decking, so that means you want a nice broad surface to adequately fasten the deck at those corners. Now, Phil Martin is doing the installation. Phil, what are you using for decking here? It's TNG, obviously.
Yes, today we're using mahogany.
And why mahogany?
Mahogany because it has a very tight grain to it, and the water feeds off and rolls off it rather than absorbing into it.
The groove comes in handy, especially in a screen. You want the bugs coming up through the deck.
So, yeah, planking, you can get the gaps and all the bugs and mosquitoes will come up through there.
Now, it's pretty simple to make a miter on a piece of decking, but to do the herringbone, it takes a little more work.
Yeah, it's just a little bit more work. What we do is we'll take the piece of wood that we're using, we'll get a somewhat of an area that needs to be cut. The easiest way I find is with a razor knife and a chisel, rather than pulling the saws out. So we'll make a mark.
So you're really removing the same amount of tongue as the width of a piece of decking.
Correct, correct. So we'll make a mark on the tongue for the width. Then we'll use our razor knife, get in the groove, and because the wood's fairly soft, we can score it from the top, and this time all we need to do is score it from the top. This will allow the other boards to match up to it squarely.
Right. So you're removing just enough of the tongue so you get a nice tight joint.
Yes.
So how do you nail it?
On this one we're using a standard hardwood floor gun with a staple in it. We'll staple it at every joist, or sleeper. Okay. And then we continue the process. After we've nailed down the flooring, we'll come back around and face nail all the corners where there's no tongue and groove.
Just to pull those down flush.
Yes.
Well, that herringbone is a really nice detail, and I know after you get all the decking down, you're going to trim it off to the right distance. It's going to look great.
Thanks, Norm.